So now I'm going to take you through some mobility interventions to help improve your posture. The kind of three main areas we're going to be focusing on are increasing ranges through your ankle, hip, and then through that thoracic spine. Because if we don't have good mobility through those areas, then the joints below it or the joint above it can be compromised. So the first one we're going to start off with is your ankles. So I'm going to take you through 2 stretches for the ankles, purely because you've got multiple muscles in your lower calf, in your calf, but the 2 main ones I'm going to attack is like your gastrocnemius and your soleus. Gastrocnemius comes from the Achilles and actually goes on through the femur, and the soleus actually comes from the Achilles and then goes actually back onto the fibula. So we need 2 different angles to release those muscles. So the first one, we're going to come down, we're just going to go into a push-up position, and then we're going to lift up, keeping this leg straight. So if I'm stretching out my left leg, and then I'm going to go hip up, and then try and get the heel to the ground. And if that's a little bit too easy, you can just walk back a little bit more, hip up, try and get the heel to the ground, and then with the other leg, you can actually assist it to try and actually push the heel to the ground. So we just can kind of rock in and out of that one. After you've done about 8 aside, then we can come up, and then if the wall, going flush against the wall, we're going to just have your foot planted, and then keeping that arch through the foot, we're going to rock your knee forward, and then rock back. So rocking in and out, and then what we can do, you can even do 6 reps, just going straight ahead, 6 reps going in, 6 reps going out. You've got 2 different joints in your ankles, you've got the talocrural and the subtalar, so it's important to expose it through different ranges to free it up. So that's the ankle, and then now we're going to look at the thoracic. So ideally if you've got something like these two, so for our extensions they're great, or you can get 2 tennis balls taped together or a thin roller. But what we're going to start with is we're going to get the peanut ball just below the shoulder blades. We're going to tense the abs. You're going to hold onto the head, and then we're going to breathe out and extend back, making sure the movement is coming from that thoracic, and we're keeping this locked in. So as you extend back, we're not arching through the lower back. We keep this locked in, and then we arch back. So you breathe out, breathe in, and then you can move it up about 1 inch. And do the same thing, repeat that about 3 times, sorry. Okay, next one, we're going to free up through the quad. So if we're half kneeling, so we're going to get 1 foot elevated with the knee down, you're going to squeeze the glutes, tense the core, and then you extend your hip forward. When you're doing this quad stretch, it's really important to keep some stiffness through here and here, because it locks the hip in, and then we're trying to free up, particularly through that kind of rec fem that goes from the top of the pelvis and then down into the knee. So we're extending forward. You should feel that. To level this stretch up, you can reach up overhead, and then you should feel a greater stretch. The last 2 we're going to do are a little bit more dynamic, and we're going to go into a push-up position, so your hands are in close together, and we're going to step forward and then reach around. And then step back, step forward, reach around. Just like with the quad stretch, when you do this one, you want to squeeze the glutes on that back leg. You're going to get a little bit of a stretch through the hip flexors, push this knee out, and then rotate around. Do that about 8 each side. And then the last one is a squat stand with reach. So you're going to come squat down, you're going to hold onto the toes, push the knees out, rotate one hand, rotate the other hand, lean forward, stretch the hamstrings out. And we're going to go through that about 6 times in total. So they're the exercises. Hopefully they help, and let me know if you need anything. Thanks.